What's going on, everybody? What up? What up? What up? Yo, this past weekend, bro, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about this past weekend. How can we not? You know what I mean? How can we not talk about what happened this weekend? A lot of crazy stuff happened. UFC 317, Topuria versus Oliveira. We got to talk about it. The factor remains Topuria is still him. Topuria is still that guy. Pantoja is still that guy. Kai Kara France with the choke of the year. I was saying this too, getting into leading up to the fight in the build up, doing the breakdown I did a couple days ago before the fight. I said Kai Kara France, anytime he gets those big fights, he kind of crumbles. He kind of just doesn't show up. And again, for the championship on the line, he doesn't show up. And it sucks to see that. What up, Crystal Jackson? It sucks to see that because you know how hard he works, you know, and he has phenomenal fights. He has phenomenal performances every single time it's not a championship fight. It's crazy. It's crazy. This kid's so good, but anytime there's a championship fight, he just doesn't show up, man. He just doesn't show up. It's sad. But Topuria though. What's next for Topuria? Let's see. He called out Pat Buddy. What the fuck? He called out Paddy Pimblett in the post fight interview. He called out Arman Sarukian as well, but Joe Rogan was like, he thought he only was talking about Paddy because all he heard was blonde bitch, and then the Spaniard accent took over, and Joe didn't understand when Topuria was talking about Arman. He was like, oh, you're talking about Paddy. Not Paddy, hopefully Arman. See, my thing is that I hope Arman, I want him to fight someone else before he gets a title shot, just because of what happened with the Islam fight. Now listen, as an MMA fan, as someone who wants to see good high-level fights, I agree. I would like to see Topuria. I would like to see the best fight happen, which would be Topuria versus Arman, right? You give Topuria Paddy. I believe the same thing that he did to Charles happens to Paddy. I feel like there's really no other way around it. I feel like he does the same exact thing. He dominates him on the feet. The only thing I would say that is in Paddy's favor is that he is a little bit younger, right? He's a little bit younger than Charles. He hasn't been in those type of wars, so he might be able to take a punch a little bit better than Charles, Holloway, and Volk. Three guys who have been in the game for a minute. They have been in wars. They've taken really solid punches on the chins over the years. But I don't think his chin holds up, right? And I don't think he's got the best technique in terms of striking. He always strikes with his chin straight up in the air. He looked better against Chandler, but Chandler, it's not hard to beat him when you're rangy and kicky. And, you know, we've seen time and time again Chandler be, affected by those calf kicks. What up, Nick Nerds? I think he KOs Justin and Paddy right now. Paddy getting better each fight. Yeah, I think so too. I think he flatlines Justin in the first two rounds. I think he flatlines Paddy, but later on in the fight. I think Paddy survives a little bit more. I think, dude, if I'm Paddy, I'm not kicking at all. I'm not punching with you at all. I'm not striking with you in terms of boxing. I'm fucking kicking Topuria all night. Like, I was calling for I did a breakdown short with Charles Oliveira and the Topuria fight, and I was saying, dude, if Charles goes out there, I want him to kick, be rangy, and look for the calf kick, and right away he went for the calf kick, and I was like, there we go. That's what we need. We need the calf kick. You need to stop Ilya from being able to march you down, use his balance, use his boxing, and that's what you do. And, calf kicks are much more effective than leg kicks, so we go for the calf now. And next up is Tom Aspinall. That's crazy. Tom versus Ilya. Hey, anything Ilya puts his mind to, he could do it. So don't you doubt Ilya, okay? Nah, but we can talk about Tom Aspinall too here towards the end. But right now, though, Ilya is the man at 155, and I believe that what would be sick for me, I would say, because Justin Gaethje says something along the lines of like, if it's not for the title, I'm gonna retire. Okay, well, you don't deserve a title shot, in my opinion. Fight Arman Sarukian. Don't fight Rafael Fiziev, right? In your last fight, he's ranked. He's like number 11. What are we're calling out title shots after that? Like, no, get out of here. We're good. And you got floored by Max Holloway in your fight before that, and then Topuria goes out there and fights pieces up Holloway. Man at 155 and 170. I don't know about 170. Jack Della Maddalena is a bad motherfucker. He's got some hands that I would love to see him. I would love to see Jack fight against Topuria just for the striking. The striking would be amazing. And then if we're talking Islam, I don't think Islam goes back down to 55. People are talking about Islam. Islam stays at 170. He's not going to go back down to 55. Maybe if he loses to Jack Della Maddalena, maybe. But I think he stays at 170. He beats Jack. Maybe Ilya goes up after he beats, whoever he fights next, or whoever maybe next two fights. But I don't know. Him and Ilya is the fight. That's good. That's a good fight right there. But at 55, though, the fight would be Ilya versus Arman Sarukian. That's going to be a great matchup. I do think Ilya, because Arman Sarukian, didn't he barely lose to Gamrot, or was that the other way around where he barely beat Grant? Not barely, but it was a good close fight all the way up to the bell. I think it was Arman who barely beat. Islam is 190, cutting to 155 is crazy. Ilya, yeah, if he cuts back down to 55, I do think Ilya knocks him out, or beats him decisively if he cuts all that weight back down. You cut that much weight, you're not taking any power from someone who hits like that. Like we seen it already with Holloway going up to 55 and cutting back down. I wouldn't like that for Islam. Zoe Alpin's self-love is so important. That's why I finger myself twice a day. For sure. Hell yeah. Tight. Oh shit, what's going on here? I don't know why the quality cut in and out right there. No worries. Stay in the chat. Yeah, Ilya beats Islam if he goes back down to 55. If Ilya goes up to 170, that's where I believe it gets more interesting. I think that Ilya is going to be way smaller at 170 because we've seen how big Charles was against him at 155, and I don't believe that he hangs around at 170 as much as these guys, the natural 170 guys are. Well, like I said, Jack Della Maddalena's got some slick fucking boxing. So my top three boxers right now are Jack, Ilya, and Joshua Van in terms of just straight boxing, like slick boxing. And then you could throw Tom Aspinall in there if you want, but Jack Della Maddalena's got a different kind of boxing than Ilya. That's kind of similar, but he's a little more in and out, and he throws more weapons. That's the thing. Ilya, he kind of puts himself in a corner and he boxes mainly. He's mainly a boxer, which is fine. I love that. But you got to have a little bit more once you start fighting guys with more tools. You don't at the end of the day, because you could just knock anyone out. But if you're fighting guys who are on the same level as you, and you got two guys who got the same amount of technique, usually the one with a little bit more weapons and a little bit more, he's a little bit more athletic, he's a little bit bigger, faster, stronger, those guys win, right? So you need to open up your game a little bit more on the feet. You need to add some kicks in there. You need to add some elbows. But Topuria, dude, I mean, his boxing is undeniable, So if Jack Della Maddalena wants to go in there and just box with him, or if Islam just wants to box with him, he's going to piece you up. You have to unload the kitchen sink. That's kind of what that was like my analysis for the Royval and Van fight, was we haven't seen Van fight somebody with as much weapons as Royval has, or as much volume. And Royval went out there, I thought he won round 2, and now he was mainly boxing in round 2. I would have liked to seen him throw more kicks, especially that body kick he opened up with. I thought that was beautiful. But Van found his rhythm. He found every time Royval crashed in. That's when Van opened up. He's like, okay, you're going to overextend yourself. You're going to crash in, and you're not going to get your head off line after you throw a punch. That's what boxers are really great at. Watch Ilya. Every time he throws a punch, the last punch he throws, he always moves his head offline. Kind of, Brandon Royval kind of sticks and stays there. He might pull back a little bit, but he never hits angles, hits rolls, hit, roll. He kind of, looks at you, nice and tall, right? So that's something Jack does very well at 170. He hits and gets his head offline. He gets in, he gets out. He's in, he's out. Touch, pull, return, and then, pull again or roll. So it'll be very interesting to see Topuria fight these guys at 170 if he makes it there. Because, dude, Arman Tsarukyan, man, that's the fight to make. I think Arman has the strength. I think he might be able to wrestle him. That's what I'm doing if I'm Arman Tsarukyan. I'm kicking his arms to get his arms deflated from all the kicks. Kick him in the forearm. Stay nice and long with your punches. Stay nice and tight. Don't ever drop your hands. And then wrestle. Shoot, punch, shoot. You think Van gonna get grappled easily by Pantoja? Gonna be a sick fight? Yeah, that's my biggest concern. That's what I was talking about in my fight companion on Saturday after they squared off. I was like, that's gonna be a sick fight. I think Van has the advantage on the feet. I don't think he has the power to knock out Pantoja, but I do think he has the technique and the skills to give Pantoja a bad run for his money on the feet. Pantoja is like the 125-pound Dracus du Plessis in terms of like striking. His striking is so fucking weird. He ducks his head and just fucking throws big bombs. And fighting those guys, sparring, like I've sparred guys like that, it's hard to fight guys like that because it's hard to find their chin because they're so ducky, right? So you got to throw shit coming up. But when you throw shit coming up, shit's coming over. So that's the big thing right there when, you got to find Pantoja's chin. You got to throw up kicks. You got to throw snap kicks to the chin, Anderson Silva style. You got to throw head kicks. He's going to be ducking a lot. People who duck a lot, you got to throw head kicks. You got to throw up kicks. You got to throw uppercuts. You got to throw knees. But be aware with the uppercuts and the knees, those over-striking shots that are coming over your uppercut, because when you throw an uppercut, you're kind of lifting yourself up here. So when you throw an uppercut, you got to be boom. You got to be here with the other hand to make sure those other punches don't come through. So it's going to be tricky for Van to find the chin on the feet. You got to go to the body early with Pantoja. The one thing I noticed with Pantoja was that second round, the body language looked weird, right? The body language kind of looked weird after the grappling exchange. He kind of looked like he was tired, but he's one of those guys who his body language looks one way, but then when he goes to attack, he looks fresh when he attacks, right? He has that weird thing where he's like du Plessis, where he fucking looks gassed the entire time, but the moment he goes to throw, everything is coming like he's not gassed. So it's kind of it's hard to read. Closes his eyes, swings for the fences into a grappling exchange. I can respect it. Yeah, dude, it's kind of crazy. And it's not like there is a little bit of a method to the madness there. It's not like he's totally just fucking eyes closed and then going in and finding something lucky. He does have a good way of going about it. Like he's good at what he does, like Dracus, right? He there is something there. Even though Dracus has came out himself and been like, yeah, my shit's retarded. I don't even know why people think I'm so good. I'm literally not, like, people are doing breakdowns and I'm like, I didn't fucking know I was doing that. I'm just fucking in there doing it. So it's kind of like, it's funny in that sense, but I don't think, dude, if he gets a hold of Van and gets him to the ground, it's a fucking wrap, son. Listen, if it's true, which I think it is, Van has been only training for 5 years. He's showing us a little. This is what Joshua Van is showing us. He's showing us proof that in 5 years you can become a very good striker, an elite striker. If you have a good striking, you're not just going to become a good striker, right? If you have a very good striking coach, and you have a good head on you, right? You got a good head on your shoulders. You got good IQ. You watch fights because you have to study to be this good. The way Joshua Van is good on the feet, you have to watch fights. You have to have a really good mitt holder, a really good coach who understands striking. And you have to you have to get it. You have to understand striking, right? And I can attest to that because I've been doing jiu-jitsu for 14 years. And then I tell myself, right, before I start my MMA career, what happens if I can't take these guys down? What happens if the fight doesn't go to the ground? Because I have three fights, all 3 first-round submissions, right? And then I have a boxing fight with a second-round TKO. But what happens if I can't get the fight to the ground? So this is what happened. I go, I need to find the best striking coach there is. So I went and I started training with TJ Dillashaw's striking coach. Because if you look at TJ Dillashaw, he was the same way. He was a wrestler, jiu-jitsu guy. And then Dwayne Ludwig came along and turned him into one of the most elite strikers in the game. And now that's all he does. Let's see if you can hang with TJ on the feet, which not a lot of people can, right? And so I went, that's who I need to teach me striking, because he gets it. Whoever's taught TJ, this wrestler guy, how to strike, and Chad Mendez and fucking Uriah Faber, who's ever pushing these guys over the hill, because I watched these guys when I was little in WEC just not be any kind of strikers at all and just really wrestling heavy. And then I seen this weird change of like, these guys are looking better on the feet. And I know who their striking coach. Did they get a new striking coach? And they did. Dwayne Ludwig went to Team Alpha Male, taught all these dudes the Dutch kickboxing drills and all the shit that fucking bang Muay Thai is all about. And now I became a blue belt in bang Muay Thai, and I've sparred people like Corey Sandhagen. And in the striking exchanges, I fucking was doing very well. So I'm sitting there going, okay, Josh, I can attest to Josh that he is... There is something to that. You can become an elite MMA striker in a very short period of time. 5 years. I don't believe that you can become an elite grappler in 5 years. I mean, maybe 3 years Dagestan forget, maybe. But all-round grappling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu included, it takes a long time. Like I said, 14 years. You give me a grappler who's been doing it for 5 years, just some MMA guy, right? I'm not talking about Andre Galval's fucking kids, right? I'm not talking about, fucking those guys you're going to have to fucking deal with. Some protege from fucking Gordon Ryan's fucking John Danaher's school. You're going to have some problems dealing with a 5-year grappler from there. I think fucking, if I'm Josh Van, I'm going to the best grapplers in the fucking world and training with those guys to get ready for Pantoja. We get it. You're a good striker. Go train with the best grapplers. So you give me an MMA guy who's only been training for 5 years, I'm fucking him up on the ground. I don't give a fuck. I do not care. That's how Pantoja's got to look at it. Oh, he's been training for 5 years, and okay, let me take you down and let's see how good you do when I'm on your back, because that's Kai Kara France was talking about on the Mighty Cast. He was like, yeah, I'm a blue belt. I haven't trained jiu-jitsu. I've only done no-gi, but I haven't done any gi. I'm pretty much a blue belt still. And I was like, oh my god, a blue belt, son. You're gonna get fucking caught up in some jiu-jitsu. So Pantoja don't fucking play, bro. He doesn't play. That's the thing. Pantoja is elite on the ground. You got to come in with elite grappling if you want to fight Pantoja. And I did see somebody say that prime Demetrius Johnson doesn't beat prime Pantoja. And I'm like, ain't no fucking way in hell that's anywhere near from true. The only person who really controlled Demetrius Johnson on the ground in his prime was Henry Cejudo, and he barely got DJ down, and DJ blew his knee out in that fight, and he barely could take him down. You think fucking Pantoja is going to hold his ass down? Like, really? No. He's going to scramble. He's going to find a way up. DJ is one of the best scramble artists of all time. It took Henry Cejudo so hard. It took him until the 4th round to actually take him down and control him on the ground. Anytime he took him down, DJ was right back up. And DJ has 10 times better grappling than Kai Kara France, and 10 times better, in my opinion, striking too. Like, DJ was a striking savant. He was so good on the feet. So I personally think prime Demetrius Johnson beats Alexandre Pantoja, although I do respect Alexandre calling him out in that last fight. He wants to fight the GOAT. It is what it is. But I don't think in DJ's prime Pantoja comes close to him. I think he fucking schools him. And but yeah, anyway, yeah, the Van fight, it's gonna be a good fight. I don't think he gets past Pantoja. I don't think he gets past the wrestling, the crazy weird striking, unorthodox striking. I think it'd just be too much for Van. But Topuria, he's probably gonna fight. If I'm the UFC, I'm not giving Arman Sarukian the title shot. He couldn't make weight, according to Dana. I thought it was his back. We all thought it was his back, but according to Dana White, he couldn't make weight. Why would you give him another title shot after he literally missed weight for his last title shot on a day notice, pulls out of the fight? Hell nah. You want a fucking title shot? Go fight Gaethje. Go fight Patty. So I'm thinking, fight Patty, make that a title eliminator. Patty versus Arman Tsarukyan. I think that'll be a good fight. I think Arman Tsarukyan barely edges that one out. I think Patty's game. Patty is game. But he's gonna come across somebody who beats him, and it's not. I don't know if Arman totally destroys him on the ground. I think it'd be a good fight on the ground. Patty is very slick with jiu-jitsu. He's got a good wrestling, grappling base, but he'll throw some sneaky guillotines. He'll throw some sneaky chokes, and if you come in there wrestle heavy, he might catch you with some sneaky chokes. And don't sleep on his triangle either. Brother's got a good triangle, but I wouldn't want to see Patty on his back. You don't win the fight against Arman Tsarukyan on your back. You just don't. Maybe you get a sneaky choke in, but we all know how jumping gillies goes. It's dangerous. Dustin Poirier, Islam Makhachev jumped 20 fucking gillies. What are we doing? Where's the IQ? Use the guillotine to get off the fence, right? Use it as a defense to get the takedown off you. Don't commit to the guillotine, and if you do, end up on top. Try to choke him out on top like Nate Diaz did with Conor McGregor. He fucking had the choke. Conor rolled out of it, and Nate followed up on mount, right? Try to do it that way. That's the best way to finish submissions in MMA, is to try to finish on top. Don't jump to your back to finish a submission, because guess what? If you lose that submission, you end up on your fucking back, and you're in an MMA fight. 100% Arman beats Patty right now. I can see probably submitting Justin if they fight. I can see Patty submitting Justin if they fight. Dude, on the feet, though, that's a good fight. Justin versus Patty. I would like to see how Patty handles Justin on the feet. I don't think he wants that. I think he would want to take him down, and I could see that too. I could see him. You got to go the Khabib way with Justin Gaethje. If you're a grappler, if your strength is not striking and you're going against Gaethje, you take Khabib's blueprint, you fucking get underneath him, you cut a corner, you take his back. Choke him out. Get mount. Go for the triangle. Whatever you need to do. Mounted triangle. Fucking break his arm. The thing with, Gaethje, I don't know if he would tap to a joint submission, like a fucking an arm bar or like a knee bar or something like that. I don't know if he taps to that. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to go for, because guess what? You break his arm. You break his elbow, you dislocate his elbow, now he can't punch you. You dislocate his knee, you destroy his knee with a heel hook or a knee bar, now he can't kick you. And that's what he's known for. And now he can't box you, he can't strike with you if he's got one knee. I know TJ begs to differ when he fought Cody Sandhagen, got his knee popped in the first round and then beat his ass for 3. I mean, very close fight, but he did, in my opinion, won the striking exchanges on the feet. He did have a couple close calls, but Corey virtually did nothing but back up that entire fight. And I love Corey. I've sparred against him. He's a great athlete, great striker, great MMA fighter. But I thought TJ barely got that job done there. It was very close, razor thin. But if Patty takes him down, I do see him wrestle fucking Gaethje into a submission. I could see that 100%. What else is there? We got Ilia Topuria's brother fighting Malcolm Wellmaker, the dude who just knocked out Chris Moutinho. That's gonna be a good one. We're gonna see if little Topuria can strike with Wellmaker, if he could take a punch or not. We'll see how good his striking is, because I think you beat Wellmaker by just mixing in everything, right? He's got a fucking nasty left hook, a nasty right hook. He's got his lead hooks from when he switches stances. His lead hooks are his best shot. He doesn't show anything super impressive to me. He's got a nice body kick, and then he went for the ream, which is what he hit Moutinho with that fake kick to the hook. So we'll see if Topuria's little brother can deal with the explosiveness. You stick to your jab, you roll under his hooks, you shoot for takedowns, you just make him think up and down, get him tired, make him wear you on the cage, get his arms heavy so he doesn't have that fucking snap knockout power. That's how you beat Wellmaker. I haven't seen too much of Topuria's little brother besides his last fight. In his last fight, he didn't surprise me. Like, nothing surprised me there in his last fight. He didn't look super impressive either, Topuria's little brother. He looked good. He looked very, good boxing, good wrestling, but he didn't look amazing. Like, his brother is immediately, oh, fuck, look at that. But his little brother's kind of like, okay, he's got something there. He's got shades of his older brother. But in terms of just, what's next for Topuria, either you have Sarukian and Patty fight each other, and then you fight the winner of that. And then if it is Sarukian, I think Sarukian is going to be bigger. He's going to have to use his wrestling. He's going to have to use his kicks because he's so much bigger. The kicks are going to be coming out, much heavier. Use the kicks, use the wrestling, get Topuria up against the cage. You got to fight him like a fucking bat out of hell with the wrestling. Get him to the cage, get him to the ground. Same thing, with Wellmaker. Make Topuria wear on him. Make his arms tired. That way he doesn't have that stink or that, initial knockout punch or that fucking flash KO that he's so good at doing with a lot of people because he's fresh in these striking exchanges. He's fresh. Nobody tries to wrestle him. Nobody tries to grapple with him. And when they do, they get met with very good wrestling defense. I thought Charles should have pressed Topuria against the cage a little bit more. I thought he should have kept him on the cage, beat him up there a little bit, but he was so anxious to take him down, to get him to the floor. And I knew that Topuria is really good at jiu-jitsu as well. I knew that if it went to the floor, Topuria is not going to be scared of Oliveira. I know there is a thing right there where it's like, oh, fuck, this is dangerous. This is a dangerous place to be. But at the end of the day, I knew Topuria wasn't going to be like, I'm not going to go down there. And we seen it. He went down there. Oliveira ended up on his back. That's the same thing as rocking him and jumping on him pretty much. He got on him, passed his guard, almost had him in a mounted crucifix. That shit was very, very, not surprising, very impressive. I wasn't surprised when I seen that. I was impressed. I was like, see, I knew this kid was as good as he says, as he thinks he is. I knew he's as good as I thought he was on the ground as well. The fucking Topuria is good everywhere. That's why it's going to be really tough for Armin. I think Armin just needs to put Topuria on his back. Just like Bryce Mitchell did to Topuria. Bryce Mitchell had a couple really good takedowns. That's the only fighter we've seen really get Topuria on the ground. That's what Armin needs to do. And if fucking Bryce Mitchell could do it, Armin could do it. If Armin could do it, Islam could do it. And Islam is a fucking beast. We all know that. He's strong as fuck. He's got that Khabib strength. So, Topuria is not unbeatable. He's very beatable. You got to get him to the ground. You can't have these weird boxing exchanges with him. You can't fight in the pocket with him. You got to beat his leg up. You got to beat his arms up. You got to head kick him. Anytime Topuria takes a head kick, he blocks it like this. He rarely blocks a head kick with both hands. A lot of the times he blocks it like a boxer, which can put you in trouble because the kick comes around the guard, boom, and hits you in the back of the head right there, right? That's kind of how, when Kamaru Usman, when he got knocked out by Leon, he didn't not block the punch. He kind of blocked the punch, but that kick, boom, went right around, hit him right in the back of the head. Not the back of the head, but right behind the ear. This right here, that shit knocks your equilibrium off because it's your ear, right? Your equilibrium is in your ear. So when that shit hits right there on the back of the ear, that shit, it could knock you out, it could stun you, it could wobble you. And that's kind of what happened with Kamaru. So I think you stay in southpaw when you fight Ilya. You don't stay in southpaw, but you show southpaw. And when you are in southpaw, you go big kicks to the body. You want to go to the body early with Topuria, get him tired. You want to go to that lead leg with the calf kicks when you're in orthodox. But then when you go back to southpaw, you go to the body a lot, and then you go to the head. And then you throw your left, make him dodge it. Just like Leon. Make him think you're going to box. Because Ilya, what does Ilya do? Moves his head. Back, right, back, left. That's all he does. He's really good at head movement. He's really good at not letting you get your timing down or your distance down because his head is always moving. What do you do to a moving target that boxes? You make them stop moving by kicking them in the head. You have to kick them in the head. You got to throw your punches to make him slip. And when he slips, the kick comes right after the punch. Right? You need to do that more often with Topuria. You need to get his head offline, and you need to put a kick where his head's gonna be, right? You need to make him slip. You need to make him slip. That's the thing with high-level strikers. They make you do things that you don't realize they're making you do until it's too late, until they run you into something, right? That's what Leon did. He threw the left, made Kamaru slip, boom, got kicked in the head. That's what Chito Vera did to Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz is always fucking like this. Chito Vera's like, all right, let me throw a punch because I know you're going to slip this way when I throw this punch. Guess what's going to be behind that punch? A kick. Boom. Knocks out Dominic Cruz. That's what Brian Battle did against one of his guys. I forgot who Brian Battle fought. Knocked him out really early in the fight. Goes in there. Throws the cross. The dude fucking ducks the cross. Boom. Kick. It's what we call a cross kick. Okay? The Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman knockout. It's what we call a cross kick. You throw the punch behind the kick. And the cross kick is the backhand, right? The cross. Boom. You could throw a one kick, which is your jab. You throw your jab. He slips a jab. You throw a switch kick to the head. It's all the same. It's just a two to a kick or a one kick. You could call it a one kick, right? One kick. Or you could call it a cross kick when you throw the right hand. So, yeah. Ilya needs to be ill-prepared for, guys who are going to want to kick him in the head more. Because that's how he got caught with Jai Herbert, right? But it wasn't necessarily Jai using his boxing to get his head offline with a kick. He caught him in the middle of an exchange. And if you play back the Charles knockout in slow-mo, I used to do breakdowns of this when Topuria threw his right hand that landed and he threw his left hook. This is where his right hand went. Went right to his chest. He threw the right hand and then he threw the left hook. Boom. And this is where his right hand was. Okay? If this right hand stays on his chest, note that. So anytime Topuria throws a right hand, you parry it and you go left hook. And you keep your right hand up because he's going to throw his left hook. And you win the exchange because Topuria threw the punch. As he comes back, the hand was here. He goes, boom, boom. Look at where the hand is. That's where it was when he threw the left hook. He parried Charles's right hand, so it didn't even matter when Charles was he parried, boom, hit Charles right away. It didn't give him a chance to counter, right? So you need to draw Topuria's right hand out, because if you could draw his right hand out, more than likely the left hand is coming, right? He doesn't ever throw a lead front kick. He never throws a switch kick. So more than likely, after he throws a straight right, more likely than not, a hook to the head or to the liver is coming. So you throw your right, and you sit. You sit to protect your ribs, and you keep your chin right here to your face to block the hook to the face. You protect your liver, and you sit on the left hook. And that's how you catch Ilya in an exchange. Notice that almost every time. That's how Jai got the head kick, rather than the left hook that would catch Topuria. Topuria threw a right hand, and then he went like this and threw a left hand and got hit in the head with the kick. That's how he got dropped in his first fight at 155 against Herbert. Go back and watch it. So, that's how you can catch Ilya in these exchanges, right? Anytime you throw a right hand, you better fucking get your head offline, because he's either going to parry it with that left hook and throw the right hand, so you get your head offline when you throw the right, and then you roll, because the left hook's coming after the right hand. Or you start circling to your left, circle to your left, you switch to southpaw, boom, blast a kick, go back to orthodox, throw the right hand, roll, right? These are things you got to do to beat Topuria. Topuria is not unbeatable. You got to beat his body up, you got to beat his legs up, and then you just have to fucking you got to know how to box. This is boxing 101. Simple shit, but it's not, right? It's not simple. You would think it is. I think it is. Because I'm a smart fighter, I know how to box, I know how to strike. But to a lot of people, a lot of MMA guys, and this is something as I was a kid, I noticed. Boxing is a big advantage in MMA. Watching the Diaz brothers. They only box. They only box. And everybody they beat up on the feet is a boxing match. They outbox them. The other guys, it doesn't matter. They could be Muay Thai specialists. Don't fucking matter. They will outbox you because their hands are better. And that's all it is. If you have better hands, you have a significant advantage if you have better boxing in a fight. It is what it is. In my opinion, you watch kickboxing fights. You go watch the highest level glory kickboxing guys. And it's not just an absolute thing. But at the highest level, the guys who usually have the better hands in the high level glory kickboxing fight, they win. Whoever could outbox the kicker, right? Because the kicker is going to have, both of them are going to be great kickers. Who's the better boxer? Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, I'm sorry. You're just not at the IQ that you need to have to be a better striker. If both kickboxers are very elite kickers, the one who has the better boxing is going to win. Okay? Just like if you have two very good boxers, right, who are on the same level. Say they have equal boxing. The one who has better defense and the one who has better power, more speed is going to win. That's where the attributes come into play. And then you can say the same thing for technique. But then you can also say the same thing, right? If this guy's a really good boxer, I'm going to kick him. And if he doesn't have as good as kicks as I do, I'm going to beat him in the kicking exchanges. Okay? If he's got better boxing than me, I'm going to try to outkick him. I'm going to try to outbeat him on the feet with the kicks. But yeah, that's all I got today. That's all we're going to be talking about for this stream. If you're new to the channel, make sure you go to the channel, like and subscribe. If you missed the stream, it's a short stream. I just wanted to hop on here and talk about the UFC 317 for a little bit and kind of what's next for Topuria and how the Pantoja Van fight's going to go. Because those were like the big things that we got out of this weekend. But yeah, other than that, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. I post content all the time. I post fight content, anime content, fucking all kinds of content. Okay? Make sure you guys join the channel, subscribe, join the Showtime fam. I'll be fighting soon at the end of the year. If you guys want to stay on that journey with me, it'd be much appreciated. But yeah, anyway, love you guys. I will be seeing y'all soon. Next time I go live will be on Wednesday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is when I go live. Wednesday, I'll probably be playing some games. Friday, I'm probably going to be having another discussion probably about something. We'll see. We'll see what the world brings us to be talking about on Friday. But other than that, peace out, guys.